Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to share my project level up update with you guys because I have leveled up. So I was working on level 1 of this project and I managed to hit one pan and use all eyeshadows in my level 1 palette at least once. So we will be leveling up to level 2. But before we get into the details, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Rafneet and I make a lot of planning videos. So this project is created by Sophie. She's such a genius with creating eyeshadow projects, and this is my third year of doing project level up. So in this project, basically you randomize a palette to work on no pan left behind style and hit one pan for level 1, and then you level up to level 2. So in level 2 palette, you gotta hit 2 pans and use all eyeshadows in there at least twice each, and so on. You can go to level 5 and then reset, but you can keep going if you would want to. And Kezia is doing it. I will link her down below as well. But for my level 1, this palette from My Glam got rolled in, and this is how it was looking like in the introduction. So I had 6 pans in this palette and I was attempting to hit pan on the middle shade, which is this duochrome sort of holographic shade. It pulls a lot more purple on the eyes. It has clear base, almost clear base, and it has a purple shift. It's a beautiful shade and it already had a ton of progress. So I was pretty confident that I'll be able to hit pan on this eyeshadow in a month, and this is how it's looking like today. So we hit pan on this one after 7 uses in this project, and then I used it once more to kind of expand the pan a little bit more. So let's go over each eyeshadow. So the first eyeshadow I used 6 times. It's a really nice blending out shade for me. And the next shade I used it once, and this brown shade I used 3 times, and this matte gray eyeshadow I used once, and this of course I used 8 times in total, 7 to hit pan on. And this is something that I was wearing on my lower lash line in my inner corner. I was topping off my existing lid shades with this one as well, so it's a really versatile shade. And a few times I also sort of wore it as a cheek highlighter, very lightly though, and I really loved it for that. And this dark sparkly shimmer shade, I used it once. All of the eyeshadows on the bottom row I used once each. So that's the brief overview of this palette. I have only 2 eyeshadows that don't have pan on them, and these pans are honestly quite full as well. And the pink one, I've only used it 2 or 3 times ever since I got this palette. I have some uses on the brown shade though, but for now this palette is rolling out, and I was so bad at taking pictures of my eye looks. But let's just go over a couple looks. So for this first look, I put this purple shade in the inner sort of lid area, and then I topped it off with this duochrome holographic shade. And the next look is something I wore in my deck of panning, and in there I'm wearing this holographic shimmer on my lower lash line, on my inner lower lash line towards my inner corner. I should have taken more pictures, but I forgot, and I'm so sorry about that. And now let's quickly talk about the eye look I'm wearing today. So I'm wearing pinker in my outer and inner corners, and I have it blended with Supreme. Both of these eyeshadows are from my ABH Jackie Aina palette because that's my main pan that palette for this year. And in middle of my eyelids, I'm wearing shade Jwalas. In my inner corners, I'm wearing the shade called Zam from the same palette. On my lower lash line, I'm wearing shade Shookington. It's the purple shimmer shade. But I'm wearing shade Trust Issues towards the inner corner on my lower lash line. So Trust Issues is kind of acting like a bridge between inner corner shade and lower lash line shade. Also, I'm wearing shade Credit as a liner. And that's it for today's look. I haven't used eyeshadows from any other palettes. I'm exclusively wearing my Jackie Aina palette in today's look. It's time to roll in our level 2 palette. So I have a list of all the eligible palettes. Nice, because Optimistic AF is also in my Pan Those eyeshadows, and it's also in my deck of panning project, but I have hit my goal in deck of panning project on that palette. So I have this eyeshadow called Smiley Face from that palette in my Pan Those eyeshadows. In deck of panning, I rolled that entire palette in for no pan left behind. Eyeshadows in there are also not so easy to hit pan on, so it's gonna take me a while to hit level 2. None of those eyeshadows have dips or anything, so let me grab that palette and I'll show you what it looks like. This is how the palette is looking like today. I've used this eyeshadow called Smiley Face quite a lot because it's in my pan, those eyeshadows, but it is not showing any kind of dip whatsoever, which is really crazy. So yeah, it's gonna take me a while to hit pan on. I have pans on 3 eyeshadows in here. So I pan on Happy Camper, Good Vibes Only, and Radiate, which leaves us with 1 shimmer and 4 eyeshadows. It'll be interesting. Yeah, well, that's what got rolled in, so we should stick with the palette. If I make these eyeshadows my primary focus, even then it's going to take me at least 2 months to hit pan on eyeshadows in here because they need to be used more than 30 times to hit the pan, especially the mattes. So yeah, that is where we are at with our level 2 palette, and that's it for today's update. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope you have a wonderful day or night depending on when you're watching my video, wherever in the world you are. I will see you in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.